that transition of my parents from the South and Jim Crow and all of that, which they said, no, we've had enough. We reconnected with it slightly because we used to go and see our grandparents. Every couple of years, we'd drive down around Christmas time to be with my grandmother and great-grandmother in Florida. And when we went down, yes, we lived in the remnants of slavery in the sense that the shacks, the shanties, the places that they live were old slave quarters. And our great-grandmother's grandmother was a slave. So that's how close that was. And they could remember, and they could talk about it, and they could say, oh, yes, sweetie, well, you know, all of that. So it filled you with a sense of your roots and tradition. And I just said, you know what? When I'm old enough, I'm not coming back down here. You come back up to the north, and it looks different, but you know it's a powerful negative in the atmosphere that we're living with. I write about a story in the book that's indicative of that. When I had a history teacher who didn't believe I had written an essay, when the papers were given back, my teacher didn't give me mine. He said, Larry, see me after class. And these words are really powerful in my consciousness. He said, you're not capable of writing this. Who wrote it? You know, one moment it would be, he doesn't even know me. How can he say that? And another thing would be, maybe he's right. But he couldn't be right because I wrote it. So you get what was going on there. The power of the culture and those assumptions and those prejudices is trying to enter into my being. Prejudice actually breeds more prejudice. And people start to do that. And it just, again, it made me reflect. Am I going to succumb to what was going on in that West Side Story scenario, or am I going to rise above it? And I started to recognize these are just opinions people have about you. They're not necessarily true. Will you accept those demeaning opinions, or will you find some light?